Hey guys, so we got the Sterling, 99 Sterling. The customers were saying that it was smoking pretty bad, loss of power. So I'm thinking it's probably a turbo. So I'll check it out. It's a little wet. Need an outlet. Let me get a light. That's pretty effed. So, all right. So that's the culprit. So I'm going to take that off. First, we'll take all the ducting off. Exhaust clamp off. Then you have the feed line up here. And then you have the drain line. Let's see if you can see it. Drain line right there. So you unbolt that. And then you're going to have 4 bolts. I don't know if you can see them from this angle, but it should be one there. There, the nuts. And then 2 on the other side. It's a little tough to get to. Most likely I'll be heating them up. You can barely even see them. So, all right, let me get some this crap off. Yeah. So it's a C10 also. I don't work on a whole lot of C10s. I can't remember the last one I've worked on, but take this off. Actually, I'll take this off too. Let's take it all off. Definitely a do-yourself job. Like I was saying, you're most likely going to need torches. A lot of times they don't just bolt, especially up here in New England. Nothing likes to unbolt. Oh, my freaking oil just pissing out. Yeah, most likely I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna test it too. Pressure test it. Actually, they wanted me to, but it's a good chance with that much oil. He's probably gonna need a new aftercooler. Yeah. That is a lot of oil. pretty frozen on to the, so freaking persuasion comes off. See, that's so this is a hard line, so we're gonna have to take it off over at the block. There's a bolt that it goes into. I don't know if you can see it, because there won't be any flexing on this line. So I'm gonna take that bolt off, pull this off, it's all one piece, and then I'll get to that underneath. Alright, so we got the exhaust off. The clamp just tapped it, knocked down. I unbolted the inlet and just kind of moved it out of the side. It made a liar of me. It doesn't mount with a bolt on that side to the block. And then you got the drain, which is a couple 13s, the 2 bolts on top. So now we have the 4 bolts right here, 15 mil. So we got a 15 mil. I'm gonna, for the hell of it, try crack it loose before heat. That doesn't usually happen. I wonder if it's super old. Shit. 2 so far coming loose. Alright, let me try that other one down there. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. It's like freaking. I can't really see it. Holy shit. That one's loose, and the other one is, I'm not gonna go in blindly. So let's put it right here. Wow, I think that one just, yeah, shit. Well, that's a good sign. You know, freaking a wrench without heat. Taps. Alright, let's see if I can get my ass in here. Get up. Gasket. you want to place this gasket right here. So you can probably see it better. See, the thing is, these little chips and stuff, that will go through the intercooler if they're small enough into the engine. So I already told the customer and let him know. I said, can't guarantee something hasn't gone through. Okay, so we got a Caterpillar. It says I'm going to put it up to 30 psi. We don't want it to leak more than 5 psi within 15 seconds. So what this does, you just put air to it. It's plugged on the other side, and we're just going to see if anything leaks out. So 30 psi. Or 20. Seven, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, it's a little bit of a leak, I think. But I mean, this thing is freaking full of oil. Really, at the least, gotta take it out and wash it. Let's see. There is a leak, even though it does pass. I'll see what he wants to do, because we gotta take it out anyways. So, see what he wants to do. Alright, so we got the turbo back, nice and freaking good. The good part is that I live near a couple cat dealers, so I can just usually just run and get the parts most in stock. So you don't have to disconnect the AC stuff and evacuate the charge. Okay, so turbo's all back in other than one tube. So I got the okay for taking out the air charge cooler and clean it up. I told him it's full of oil. It's gotta be freaking at the bottom. We gotta take it out and clean it. So it's not super hard. First you gotta take the power steering cooler off, 2 bolts. One on either side, it flips over. The AC condenser, you got 4 bolts that bolt to this charge air cooler. But then you got the reservoir that you got to unbolt, slide off, and there's a bracket that kind of sandwiches down on both sides. You got to take the washer fluid off. Not a big deal, but I did have to heat the bolts that hold the bracket off. So now you're just able to kind of move it forward and just kind of take it out of the rubber insulators at the bottom, lift it up. And so I'm gonna do that. I don't know if I'm gonna use the crane or not. Little awkwardness. I'll see how heavy it is, probably from the other side. But the father of the guy who owns the truck, he wanted me to look at his trailer. I guess it was less than a year old, and the driver drove off with it with the airbags down. They dropped the airbags down so you can bring the ramps closer. So he drove off and pretty much everything caught on fire. Bags, freaking hoses, freaking probably the slack bushings and everything. The freaking, it's pretty nasty. I told him, dude, I said, how soon do you need this? He's like, oh, as soon as possible. I said, I don't know if I can get into that right now. Pretty backed up. But anyways, just wanted to show you that, and I'll show you me washing out that crap. Get out of the all the oil out. Usually I'll put some degreaser and freaking just wash it with a hose till it's nice and clean. Let it dry. That is a lot of fucking oil. Alright, so we got all the tubing cleaned out. Charge air cooler. Oh, fuck. It's good. Careful you don't poke anything. Sits in a little slot at the bottom, and then you put the brackets on top to kind of squeeze it. They're also, the inlet and outlet's actually different sizes. That passenger side is going to be bigger than the outlet side, so the inlet's a little bigger, and then it like tapers down a little. So you got brackets with the insulators. So it kind of just freaking squishes it down. Yeah, so this is one of the worst blown turbos I've seen for when it comes to oil, like oil through the whole system. I did talk to the guy a little more, and he said thing was starting to like kind of run on its own because of the mist of the oil kind of running off. So I was able to limp it back here to the yard before anything really even worse happened. You got the snug it. You don't need it to be crazy tight, not crack anything. To the next side. This year, she has been insane. You know, everything going on. Freaking schools are going. It's got over in. It was on the news that Boston schools are going completely remote as of today. You know, I feel bad for people who are, you know, like last minute figure out what their kids are gonna freaking, who's gonna watch their kids and everything, but you know, crazy. But you know, what can you do? So put the AC next. There's these 4 bolts in the front. These kind of line it up. I wouldn't have much. A lot of my work is actually almost all of it is mobile to a point. If it's a big job, then I tell them, you know, bring it to my shop, or even if freaking I'll drop one of my trucks off, pick up their truck, and you know, do it at the shop. Especially in the winter time, I'll do that. You know, you give them a little good service, give them good service and everything. They don't care if you charge a little extra for you know, for driving or dropping off. But definitely what I found is that mobile isn't so much need. I've had people, I told them, hey, you know, you're gonna save yourself at least $300 or $400 if you bring it to my shop, go up in the lift, do that. They're like, no, it's okay. Works out better for us. You come to us for that job. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So it was actually on site, so the guy was able to work because I worked on his other truck, and when pretty much he was done, I was done. So it worked out for him because he doesn't want to take his guys off other jobs to go drop it off. So I mean, I understand that sense of it. But But anyways, I'm just rambling. Rather than me singing the songs that are in my head, you wouldn't want that. Not very good songs. Alright, one more hose. I'm gonna freaking start her up. Let's see. Alright, check the oil. Freaking hit the key, because you never know, freaking people try to start it. And all the shit's apart. Or even people vandalizing or just trying to fuck with other people. So, see if there's even any freaking juice in her. Oh shit, sorry. Not too bad of a smoke, so eventually I hold on though. Anyways, well, thanks for watching.